Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. We have a lot of things to talk about today. So, if you have made it to this video, two things are happening. You have made it through the narrow gate, and it actually led you back to something very similar to what was going on in June of 2022. Let's first talk about you getting through the narrow gate. So, it's a very biblical concept. It has a lot to do with the way that chemicals flow in your brain and lightning, all sorts of other stuff. But in consciousness, it means that I am in the present moment. I see what God is doing and I like it. I'm going to work with it. I'm no longer looking to my past for answers. I am not sitting here worried about a future that does not exist. Let me see what God is saying to me in this moment. And the thing is, that's what happened with Moses. You know, he didn't get into the promised land, but it was because God told him that, I think it was strike the rock or whatever. You have to go back and read it, you guys. I know the story, but not the particulars. He told him to do something different. But Moses said, no, I'm going to do what I did last time. And so a lot of times when we get to these moments where God is saying, I've got the answer for you in the present moment, we're saying, no, I'm going to resort to something that I did before. And I'm no longer doing that. Now, something weird started to take place. Just like if Moses had hit the rock, he would have seen something supernatural take place from the Lord. Once you become present, you start to see a lot of supernatural things. You start to get the little signs and the wonders. And before, it's like, whoa, that really resonates with me. But you had to be able to go back and literally see the same sign and the same thing in order to convince yourself that it was real. Now you're seeing the signs and the understandings and you're getting it right then. And you go back and it's not there anymore. It's like because your mind is so set on not living in the past, there's no more past for you to go back to. It's only what you have accepted now and what you're feeding off of in this moment. Yes, you can pull memories, but you're going to have to live here with them and not in the past. The other thing that took place, you guys, is I'm on board with the Lord. And I need to so address today. I've got some stuff I got to do. And these are my good scissors. And your girl didn't know where the good scissors were. You know how sometimes you have like a recollection, I can see it someplace. I didn't have no understanding of this. But I went to sleep. And guess what I woke up next to? The good scissors. That's what I'm talking about. And I was like, God, is this magic? He's like, no, Alicia, it's supernatural. It's above the natural. I told you that all the things that you need, they're available to you. It's available to you. All you have to do is seek me and I will add it to your life. And so for me to actually wake up this morning next to these scissors, having them added into my actual physical life by nobody other than God, you guys, I'm not making this up. I did not know where these things were. I didn't have a clue where to even start looking for them. The likelihood of that, and I moved the couch. I swept out the cushions. I did all that stuff. You see me still having like a revelation right now about these. There's no way he added this to my life. And so God is letting you know this is how this works. When you're on board with me, when you're seeking the things that I will add it to you, I will add the money to you. I will add the people to I will. It's all there, honey. It's all there. Some of the people that you're going to meet in the future that are really going to be able to help you out, they're watching you right now. It's just you have to be on the mood and actually meet that space in order for it to show up. So God knew that I needed to sew clothes today. I knew that I needed to sew clothes today. I didn't need the scissors yesterday or a couple days before. And so it popped up in divine timing. And that's part two of this. And the reason why I tell you guys that because you've passed through that narrow gate, you're in the present moment. God is doing supernatural things. You're seeing the signs and wonders. You're not lingering. You're not worried about tomorrow. You're not thinking about living through yesterday. You're now God is reminding us of that very narrow way through. Now, there's the narrow gate, but there's also the doors that he opens. And I told you guys in a video yesterday, if you watch the one with the little plate circling, you have the opportunity to go through that door, but it's going to require that you have the presence of mind to know the difference. And see, in 2022, I went over to the foreign land and I ended up getting COVID over there and I couldn't come back. And I found this out 2 hours before my flight was supposed to leave at like midnight their time. So yeah, yeah, yeah. All of the stuff that I had to do was in America. I had like 2 hours to get it done before things closed out. It was a nightmare. And God told me, He gave me a download because I was on board with the Lord at this time. I had given my life over to Christ and started to do the whole God thing. And he told me that I was going to be there for 11 days. But did I rest in that? Absolutely not. I freaked out every single day. I was upset. Why is the Lord forsaking me? I had like the worst experience. And I got back from there and it was almost like it never even happened. I just went back to work, paid all my bills. Like I didn't even stumble. It was just like a bad dream. And I realized that I didn't have to stress out. I didn't have to worry. It didn't do anything for me. All I had to do was just rest in God's timing. I could have really just sat there with my head back up and been like, God, heal me. That's the version of me now. It'd be like, God, take it away. Okay, I'm gonna go about my life, but you go ahead and heal me while I do that. And I just didn't have that kind of trust and faith and confidence then. But over the course of the past 3 years, I've obviously built that. And so God's letting me know that in this present moment, not only have I passed through the narrow gate, there's an open door in front of me. And I have all the ability to walk through that. You see, the thing is with Dubai, or the foreign lens, as I call it, I couldn't. I couldn't make that happen any faster. There was no me lying and manipulating the system to get out of the country. Your girl wasn't taking that risk. I wasn't going to jail. And so I had to sit there. I literally didn't have the resources to change it. I really just needed to wait on God's timing. Now I'm matured, and you're probably in the same space too. You've matured to the point to where you do have the resources. That deadline is coming, baby. For me, I got to move. My lease is up on the 17th. Jesus, it's the 8th. Do we not, hello, know what's going on here? So my lease is up and it's like I have the resources to go ahead and pay for this or try to move out and do all this other stuff. But God is like, no, I've given you time. And I told you I was moving. The same way I told you you'd get out of there in 11 days. I told you you were moving. You're just going to have to wait on me to unfold that. And like I said, I go back to that and I realized I didn't face any penalties from life. I didn't get fired, I didn't lose my house, I didn't any of that stuff. I just came back. And so God's letting me know in this moment, and possibly you, if you're, like I said, if you found me, we're on the same vibration frequency, that you're not going to lose here. There's no fees, there's no penalties, there's no anything you're doing what God wants you to do. He's going to supernaturally provide for you the next things, because it's already in your space. It's not magic, it is above the natural. You have finally gained that eagle eye vision that comes from being in the present moment and allowing myself to see everything for what it's supposed to be meant for me, absorbing it and using it accordingly. So yeah, I am going to face this resting in God's timing. I'm not paying attention to nothing. I'm not on the lookout for any negativity. I'm just going to rest in what God is doing from here on out, anticipating that just like He popped these scissors into my life, anything else that I need is going to be made available to me. But yeah, I'm no longer back in the past wondering, trying to find my answers there. They're here. Your answers are right here in the present moment. And if you allow him, he'll just throw it in your space. Have a blessed day, you guys.